Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and you have the floor now, Shimmer Crash. Since you played the game, you tell us what you think of the game.
Honestly, when I was playing through the game, between all the races I had to choose from, I still had to choose a Fraser race to see what it could do. And I was pleasantly surprised to actually see how strong it actually was. But first off, to start, I really did like the character customization. Gave you a lot of options, a lot to work with between head, body, and face. It did offer quite a bit in customization options.
You really liked it, the
As well as going for
customization?
skills, it was actually rather it was rather deep, but not as deep as most RPGs, but it was quite decent and actually did give you a lot of options to work
So
with.
it's kind of like an
Is it?
RPG
But most
fighting
of the
game.
customization,
Is it an MMO?
I
know
yeah,
nothing about.
it
It's all.
actually
It's all.
both.
It's always online.
Actually, no, you can actually go both single player and MMO style.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, you have both single player and multiplayer lobbies to work with.
So,
So you actually
I
have
was
the
under the
option.
I mean, like somebody
Mhm.
like live, I know nothing about this because I never followed. But is this a fighting game or is this an RPG or what is this game?
It's sort of a mix playing on both. You still have your usual life bars and all that, but it actually does still play on the Budokai and Tenkaichi formula, where you do have skills where you actually charge up from a distance with the key charge techniques, or you can actually go up close to actually start punching and hitting on the opponent to actually charge your key at the same time. So you actually have two methods worth of to do that. But
Okay.
as for skills, there is a huge range to work with, and it actually allows you to customize your character how you want. But the coolest thing though has got to be the master system. Going through the game, you can actually switch out masters. Like I mostly chose Vegeta for myself since I loved his long range techniques, especially his Final Flash. But you can actually go throughout the game and change masters as you go along, learn their skills, level up, and actually even get different items from them to actually strengthen your character as well. The most important being the Master Z Souls, which actually coincide with the skills you get from them. Let's see.
So basically, if I have all 7 balls, oh, I'm echoing.
Actually, no. I haven't gotten to that one yet. But throughout the game, you can actually gather the Dragon Balls to actually make a wish from Shenron in the main area of the game. But I have yet to gather all 7, only having like 2 so far. But I'm still working on some of the mechanics, kind of like taking a break from it right now, since I have actually finished the game. But it still goes on from there. But that's sort of a con for it right now for me.
Yeah, because I understand it also has DLC content. To my understanding, it has DLC content as well, right?
And the game actually released the final DLC a while back, and they're not going to release any more for it.
Oh, that sucks.
Mostly, it was more or less customization options more than anything else to promote like the new movie Resurrection of F, basically Resurrection of Frieza. You just got customization options and different characters
from every
to use,
saga
as well
and
as
movie.
Other masters. Pretty much. But the con about it is once you finish the game, you really don't have much to do besides round out your character or just complete the other masters or stuff like that. Because once I finished all the sagas, I was just at level 80 and the max is 100. It sort of pissed me off. Because I'm like, where do I go from here? So that kind of hurt things for me. Another con about it is some of the sagas are far too short. especially the GT sagas, which consist of like only one, or like what was consist of 2 or 3 chapters.
Yeah, that's
'Cause,
true. You want to know
actually,
why? You want to know why they did that? They kept it
love to know
longer than
why.
it is because they wanted to trick people into watching the next series, the next episode of because it was more episodic and you had to, and it tricks people into trying to, because Dragon Ball Z's been known to do that. It's tricking people into watching the next episode because they spent like 5 minutes for Goku to go from point A from point B into a, like, for example, if they spend like five or 6 chapters of him trying to go to the bathroom, for example.
Yeah.
I've heard. I mean,
Used to do
basically, what I've heard about Dragon Ball is essentially a soap opera in anime form, and because it's not something that I would, I don't watch shows that are take so fucking long to get to the point. I hate that. I don't know why anybody would find Dragon Ball entertaining. That's just me talking. I like to have a story that actually is interesting, but when you have like these mundane events that JT just described happen and it just keeps dragging on, I have no idea why people find this entertaining.
It's because they want to see the fighting. That's pretty much what it was.
It's the same thing with Housewives watching Bold and the Beautiful. Why the fuck do you watch that shit? It was like,
I don't know, but it's just entertaining. I guess it's because it's entertaining because it just has the flashy women in it.
I mean, they have to do something, right? It's just that
it tricks. You got to understand, it tricks people into watching the show. It makes people want to see the show, and it's like they basically Dragon Ball Z's been known to do that. Plus the movies. The movies are not that bad. They don't try to go. For 1 hour movie.
Pretty good.
They're pretty decent. As for the TV series, it's like it just takes a long time just to complete the story.
Yeah, because a movie has to have a narrative, a beginning, middle, and an end, while the show really doesn't. So it's like
it's a never-ending show.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I would rather have a complete story. That's why I'm very careful in watching a lot of shows that start, because you never know when Fox or any other network is all of a sudden going to push the cancellation button.
Oh, Fox is going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
But the funny thing is, Fox actually did cancel that show. When I first remember watching DBZ, they had it on the Fox network on cartoon. They showed it in the morning time, and then they canceled after 13 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. And then someone took over the show and decided, well, that show is actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and make it.
I think to WB. I think moved.
Yeah, it went to WB, but the funny thing about it is that Fox originally had the show on their network. And then they took it off, and then I believe Cartoon Network took over and decided to show that show. And it got popular from there.
Yeah, back on the subject of the game though, but really though, the shortness of each chapter, or the way everything was abbreviated, the action was good, but after a while, things just started to get repetitive. I mean, it was just like a punch hit, shrink back, and blast someone. I mean, after a while, they just got old.
That's the problem with those games, really, is it's just like they have to change up the enemies every now and then. That's why, like, games like Assassin's Creed, they have enemies progressively getting harder, so you can't keep going like that. Square button.
Yeah. And most of the game was really level heavy, because at some points you would have to grind out on side quests to just get by one chapter. It was a big it was just grind heavy for a while. But I mean, after replaying it, after getting my data fucking erased, I was able to get through the game pretty freaking easy. Especially the hidden sagas. Okay, here's the problem with the hidden sagas. They're only 2 chapters short. I mean, they're only 2 short chapters, and they're so freaking easy for hidden chapters. I mean, it pissed me off. Even the Broly ones were too easy. It just pissed me off. But all in all, the game was just
the gameplay was okay, but the storylines to them are just bad.
Yeah, pretty much. Too short and just... Even with the concept of time and history, it just sounded convoluted to me. It didn't really feel like Dragon Ball Z. It felt like more you're playing through a game about its history more than Dragon Ball Z itself.
I think a lot of people. I think the interesting thing is that when it comes to making games based on television shows and movies, it's always the same result. With a few exceptions of games that have actually turned out to be good. You know, like Alien Isolation was a big hit. That was a movie based on another franchise. But here's the thing. I don't know. I think a lot of people have become kind of bored of it. I mean, I don't know anybody that I know today. I mean, because I knew a lot of people who were anime fans, really heavy into anime, and they were Dragon Ball fans. But if I asked one of them today about it, they would probably say, "Nah, I don't watch it anymore," because people just get tired of it.
Even with all the character customization and skill customization, they didn't really add much in the way of even their transformations from even the Frieza race character. All they didn't really have was they didn't have any transformations for him for the Frieza race, because like only thing you had was just the regular armor you can actually switch out to make them look different.
So
that was just about it.
So the game is essentially a cheap cash grab, buy at your own risk.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
okay,
I may piss off some Dragon Ball fans, but I don't care. This game was just far too short and ended way too early.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and it sort of makes people think that maybe this game isn't that great at all. But I personally did enjoy the gameplay of it. That's pretty much what you're saying, right?
I did. I mean, honestly, the only really good thing about it was really good for me to release a lot of frustration in my life.
Yeah, because I can imagine you trying to be in an episode of imagining yourself being in an episode of Dragon Ball Z. These balls are so amazing. I can't believe they try to do that. It's like I don't get why people would just be like, they don't realize that it's a hidden joke about Dragon Balls, right? And there's so many inside jokes about that series that they don't realize that. Yeah, they try to go with that, because I used to remember that. You remember that chick that talked about Call of Duty being homoerotic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's like they talk about this version of it, saying, okay, they always talk about the balls, like for example, Vegeta trying to talk to Frieza about the Dragon Balls, like, Vegeta, those balls are so invigorating. I must have them. No, you will not have my Dragon Balls. Like, that's the example. Like, they talk about it. They talk about the Dragon Balls constantly. Every villain wants those balls. Like, they think it's like it's the only thing that matters to them. Like, yes, we need to take the balls away from them and possibly make a wish off of them. And we need to raise the dragon up and possibly make them. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. In every freaking saga. Like, they wish. And
the funny thing is, like, even Dragon Ball Z Abridged on YouTube plays off that.
Yeah, they basically make fun of it. Especially the Cybermen thing. I was laughing when Yamcha just was like, pew pew, because in the original episodes. I'm sorry if I watched that show. It was just ridiculous.
I did too.
When Yamcha in the abridged version, they made it short. It was just like I clapped when they did that, because Yamcha's fight was just so freaking long. And
I know, right?
And he got killed after that, and I was like,
Okay, yeah, the funny thing is, like, I love the part with Cell. Vegeta at the end of one of the episodes, like, okay, what the hell am I feeling right now? Is that the Namekian? Is that me? Is that me stronger than me? Oh, fucking kill me!
I know, it was just ridiculous.
I mean, it's always Vegeta worrying about how powerful he is. even in Xenoverse, he is like when you make a bad rank on a quest, like if that's your limit, you have let me down. Dude, I got a B rank. Don't bitch at me. Oh my god! I swear.
I'm sorry. Guys, it's just ridiculous talking about Dragon Ball Z as it is, because it's like they basically talk about.
The game just makes it worse for you.
It's not that bad. The fighting is not bad. I like the fighting. It's just But when they do the same old plot line over and over, you know, saying, "Oh, the villains are always going after the balls." It's like just so they can make a wish off of a dragon. It's like we need to rise the dragon up, like it's a freaking it's like the hidden jokes behind it. Like it's like they always go after the balls because they want to raise the dragon up and hopefully make a wish off of it. Like, and then of course the dragon sprinkles white stuff all over the place.
I remember.
Japan.
I remember reading at one point that the Japanese dub is actually way worse than the English dub because they have so many weird fucked up jokes in the Japanese version.
Oh, get this. Okay, when you hear the best part, that actually made me think of something that they actually hold in Japan. They literally have a penis festival in Japan. See the connection?
Oh my god, really? Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Japan is also the country that has game shows where people fuck each other on live television. So
I'm not gonna bother with that.
No,
so let's not
go there.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there with Japan right now. I'm sorry, Japan. We apologize. We'll bow down and just say we apologize.
The hell we will. You are a bunch of crazy people. All of you. Fuck is the matter with...
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Kojima.
I'm just joking.
Except you, Hideo Kojima, you're cool.
Yeah, we like Hideo Kojima.
Kojima's amazing. Go to hell. What's it called? Konami. I was about to say Kotaku, but you know what?
Go
to hell, Kotaku and Konami.
Leon, you have to think for a moment to remember their name. That's how fast they're gonna fall into irrelevance.
I mistaken. No, you know how guys. You know how hard they fell. I'm almost mistaken for Kotaku.
No, I mean, wow. But to apologize to any of our potential Japanese listeners, there is a lot of great stuff coming out of Japan.
I apologize.
But I still, you know, it's still a lot of weird stuff as well that I think you almost have to live. Yeah, I mean, from a cultural standpoint, I think this is funny to the Japanese audience. But one thing I would like to point out that when it comes to a lot of anime shows that are translated into English, it's really weird to see the changes they have to make to kind of suit it to a Western audience. I mean, One Piece, especially, it's also a show that does that. I mean, I watched one episode of One Piece. I fucking hate that show, but that's besides the point. You watched the Japanese version, and there's a lot of dirty jokes in that show. And then you watch the English and then you watch the English version, which is made for fun animation, I believe. And they have censored out all the jokes. They cut the show. So many scenes are being cut, and they have this child-friendly feel to it. So it's like watching a completely different show sometimes because they remove so much from.
I mean, so as you said before, I mean, adapting that to a video game, it doesn't even go that well a lot of the time, except for a few choice games. I mean, especially for Dragon Ball Xenoverse, it was a good idea, but it was just not executed well.
Yeah.
It would have been a good concept.
Did you hear what happened when they first released it? There was a lot of technical internet connection issues.
Yeah,
with
you couldn't get online or anything. But all in all, though, if I were to rate this game anything, 7 out of 10 because of limits. Just because
I would say, does it pass as a game? Does it pass as a good game, or does it pass as a bad game?
I think it passes semi-good.
Semi-good.
I mean, buy at your own risk. And this is a game for hardcore fans, basically.
Yeah, it's for those who just for fans that really like Dragon Ball Z. And I'm sorry if I bashed a lot of the stuff in Dragon Ball Z, and I understand that you guys are big fans of it. I watched the show. And I really do like the show sometimes. I enjoyed my moments of seeing Goku beating the shit out of things. But all in all, the game is okay. It's not bad. It's just kind of like a little bit bland, but a little bit okay.
Yeah, it just felt like a fighting simulator. It just felt like an RPG fighting simulator. That's about it.
Okay.
Oh, it's basically just average. It's just an average fighting game, basically, just an average action adventure.
Pretty much. I mean, it was fighting game put in RPG format.
Oh, sometimes that never works.
That's my final West.
That's your final call. Okay. Speaking of which, we're gonna go ahead and
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay. All right. The next topic that we're gonna go ahead and talk about is possibly a Resident Evil remake, which has been popping up from Capcom. They announced it that they'll plan to release it on Xbox One, PlayStation, PC, and possibly another possibly next year.
Nice
is right.
Which
I want Resident Evil to go back to its roots, how it used to be.
Well, they tried to do this, and I believe this is the prototype version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I seem to remember they did a GameCube version of this, or a Wii U version of this, of Resident Evil 0.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only version that exists is the Wii, is the Wii U and the GameCube versions, because they made this game specifically for the GameCube because Capcom had some exclusivity deals back then.
Yeah.
And with Nintendo,
yeah.
So the
GameCube games were actually pretty good. Resident Evil 4, back when it was a GameCube exclusive, was actually a pretty good built game.
The one game that a lot of people wanted back then was the Resident Evil 1 remastered, and the remake of Resident Evil 1. And when that became a GameCube exclusive, there was a lot of people who were pissed off because they wanted it on other platforms. But it really goes to show that Resident Evil is such a strange franchise. You have the people who enjoy the survival horror, and once they released the remake,
they bitch about it.
Yeah, everybody loved it. Everybody loved the remake of Resident Evil 1. People were like, "Yeah, more of this, Capcom." So
oh heck yeah.
So I think they're getting the message that the whole action game versions of Resident Evil haven't really paid off a lot. So I'm hoping that 0 will be a success. I'm hoping that they will get off their asses and remake Resident Evil 2. So that's what everybody wants.
That reminds me. That's how reminds me of how badly Operation Raccoon City bombed.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah. Raccoon City bombed hard. So many glitches.
There was like all these references to Resident Evil 2, and all I kept thinking while playing that game was, why the hell couldn't you remake Resident Evil 2? Make it the exact.
Because they wanted to be dumbasses, like how Capcom has been for the last 15 years. I'm sorry, Capcom, but you've been screwing up for 15 years now.
Yeah, I mean they are. I just wanted to point out one thing. I mean, we're seeing this with a lot of big publishers now. They're sitting on a lot of franchises. They don't know what to do with them, and Konami is one of those companies as well. You know, they have all these great franchises. Sega is also another company that have a ton of great franchises. They're doing absolutely nothing with them. They gave Shenmue away to Yu Suzuki and told Yu Suzuki, you can do whatever you want. And
that is a dumbass mistake.
Yeah.
they could have easily, they saw the response on Kickstarter when this game came out, and Sega just sits there, and I wonder what goes on in Sega's head at the moment. You know, they're seeing the success of Shenmue. People,
look how bad they wrote Sonic. They fucked Sonic royal.
Yeah, I mean, they're just milking. I mean, they're just milking what's left of the corpse of Sonic for completely dry right now. That's what they're doing. I mean, they have a ton of great franchises. They're just sitting on them. They're not doing anything about them. And a lot of people are asking, now that Shenmue 3 is on its way, will you release Shenmue 1 and 2 on the new generation hardware, on the next gen hardware, and on the PC? Because Shenmue 1 and 2 came out. I don't think Shenmue 1 came out on the Xbox, but it came out on the Dreamcast and on the Xbox, the first Xbox. Then Shenmue 2 was released on the first Xbox. So, really, you don't want to create any more attention about this? You could ride the bandwagon. You could introduce a whole new generation to this franchise, and you are sitting on your asses doing absolutely nothing. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. They could easily make a quick buck on Shenmue 1 and 2. People don't care if it's released the exact same way.
They're on their way to bankruptcy, because
but there's a small
you know what? I say more power to it. If Sega collapses, someone will take the IPs and maybe do something with them.
There is a small glimmer of hope, there is a small glimmer of hope.
Okay, let Carl talk.
No, sorry. I just wanted to mention this because there is a small glimmer of hope, and there is because the CEO of Sega recently said that they will show something big at TGS, and it will return to the older franchises. Now, what this means, nobody knows yet. So it's going to be at TGS, and that's in September, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with, and they need to do something because they are also quickly going the Konami route right now. And I, for one, do not want to see that. I do not want to see that happen to Sega. I love Sega. I'm a Sega geek. I don't want Sega to disappear. I want them to stay. I want them to create good content. I want Sega to be successful, but they're not doing anything with their franchises. I don't want to see them disappear into irrelevancy. I don't want to see.
There's one franchise I hope they bring back, but that's not going to happen because Sega just gave up on it. It's in Eternal Champions. That's one franchise I wish they brought back. That's the fighting franchise that everyone used to remember. Okay, Shimmer Crash, what are you about to say?
Go ahead, man.
I mean, there's one thing about Sega that I'm really disappointed in. It's the same thing you're disappointed. They're sitting on all these franchises, yet what are they doing with them? Like, are they shelving? Are they starting projects? Are they shelving them right after they start? I mean, I don't get what they were doing. I mean,
no.
They're floundering.
Look at what.
I mean, they're floundering like Capcom.
It's what people. I mean, you can take a look at a lot of these companies. What does Capcom, Konami, and Sega all have in common? They're Japanese companies run by businessmen in Japan that have no fucking idea what they're doing. That is essentially what all they care about. They're all Japanese companies. They're all Japanese companies. What does this mean? Does this mean that Japanese people are bad at business? No, it means that they don't understand the market. They don't understand the current market, and and there's also another.
Look at Nintendo.
Yeah, but there's also a current reason for why a lot of these companies are starting to fail. I mean, some of them, a lot of these companies are doing great inside of Japan, but when it comes to the actual Western market, they are completely out of the loop. They have no idea how to handle the press. They have no idea how to handle the Let's Players. And they treated Let's Players like crap. Konami has done this. Sega has done this. And Capcom has treated them like shit as well. They have DMCA'd videos for no reason at all. And they have no idea what, if they keep doing this, all they will get is bad press. And it's like, it's the same mistakes made by the same 3 different companies. Of course they're going to fall into irrelevancy. They have no idea how to approach the Western market. They treat their customer base in an arrogant way, and they have to realize people have the internet now. If we want to find out if your game is shit, all we have to do is Google search it. So it's like they have no idea what they're doing. Konami is just the first company that is going to do this. I would not be surprised if Capcom came out in a few years and said, okay, we're going to focus on mobile gaming. And why mobile gaming? Because mobile gaming is popular in Japan. They're pulling out of the Western markets because they have no idea how to approach it anymore. They've lost the Western market because people don't want to buy their crap anymore. They want real games. And not only are they losing their customers, they're also losing their developers. I mean, Keiji Inafune, he told Capcom to go fuck themselves, and he went out and did his Kickstarter game. I'm not sure if that's going to be any good.
Some people talked about it being bad.
I hope Mighty Number 9 succeeds. I really hope Mighty Number 9 succeeds.
I played the beta. I'm not impressed, but you know, that's me. I got the beta because I was a Kickstarter backer, so I got the beta very early. But what I have is a very, very early beta, so I'm not gonna judge it until I get the full version. But there's other developers now who is leaving these big companies and doing their own thing. I forget his name, but the Castlevania creator. He's making a game called Bloodstained. That game has got a ton of hype behind it.
He didn't create Castlevania. He basically did the PlayStation version of Castlevania Night, Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, but he's immensely popular.
That's the one as well.
And Konami's biggest mistake was, I mean, I just saw the voice actor of Snake in Japan. He just tweeted out something that Kojima Productions has officially been disbanded. So they're working on contracts until it's been disbanded. I'm not kidding.
It's been disbanded. Yeah.
He's fired. They're fired essentially.
That sucks.
So Konami, Kojima Productions from today is no more. So it's over. And I mean, so there's going to be a lot more people. I don't know if Kojima is going to go indie or if Sony is just waiting to pick him up. I think there's been a few rumors that Sony might consider picking him up. And if that happens, I hope he does, because we need more shit. I don't want to. I just hate the thought of the game.
I hope for some reason the Fox engine does it belong to Kojima?
I think it does. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I think Kojima owns that engine.
This guy makes me think something.
Because that engine can make him some money. Because that engine seems kind of interesting to use. Because I think developers would love to have that engine.
I mean, I played, you play Ground Zeroes on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'm really shocked at how fluent that engine is. And I've also played Ground Zeroes on the PC, and I cranked my settings up to the fucking max. And let me tell you something. If the game runs at full 60 FPS, no problems at all, with every single setting maxed out on my fucking computer. And I don't have the greatest computer in the world. I'm not running a Titan card. I'm running a 970. And I was like,
same here.
And it's maxed out and still runs steady at 60 FPS. And I thought to myself, damn, this engine, it looks amazing and it runs perfectly. I was like, so I hope he owns that engine, because then he can probably create some stuff, or at least license the engine out to other developers and let them create something with it, because Konami is not going to do anything with it. They're already said they're going to focus on mobile gaming.
Yeah, it's like it's sad that Konami's just like abandoning everything. It's like they just don't want to deal with the market anymore.
Tell me, with Kojima Productions shut down, it kind of makes me wonder what's going to happen to Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain.
Oh no! It's here's. I mean, keep in mind, I pre-ordered a collector's edition, so this fucking game better come out, or I'm going to Japan. And I'm gonna visit Konami personally. I'm gonna demand a meeting. So I'm gonna demand it. I'm gonna bring a lot of people.
Good luck, man.
No. But here's what happened. Here's what exactly happened. They basically said that the game is still under development. They're planning to release it September 1st as scheduled, and Kojima and his team are still working on Metal Gear. They're gonna keep working on it. They're under contracts until December, I believe. But the studio, technically the studio has been disbanded, but they're still working on Metal Gear ahead of its release, and making sure the game is released on time, because anything else would be ridiculous at this point.
That's a big relief.
Yeah, so it's not going to happen.
I want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the game releases September 1st, but I gotta be honest. I'm not going to be entirely calm until I hear the game has gone gold, because then I know it's been sent for mass production and I don't have to worry about anything. So I'm gonna hold off my excitement until I know for certain that the fucking game is done. It's been sent to mass production and I will be receiving it in my mail on September 1st.
Yeah,
so,
and I'm pretty sure Leon has something to say about his game that he wants to talk about.
What game?
Go ahead, man.
Fallout 4.
Oh yeah, I am like heavily waiting for Fallout 4 because they did everything right at E3 this year. They literally, Bethesda, Todd Howard, he said everything right. They showed how they've been working on the game ever since Fallout 3. They were doing concept art after Fallout 3 was released. And that was back in 2008. And moving on stuff, I'm playing a Fallout game right now. I'm playing Tell It 2 Wastelands, which is Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I enjoyed these games. It's just Fallout 3 with the New Vegas engine, or with the modified New Vegas features. So, so it's a better version of Fallout 3, better combat and stuff like that. So it's like what they wanted. Obsidian did a better job than Bethesda did. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
But yeah, but they said there's so many things that they're doing new. And what I've heard just recently in a recent interview with Todd Howard is he said one thing. He basically just said he says Fallout 4 is going to take place right after Fallout 3.
Okay.
He said it like that, so we all knew, for everybody who actually played Broken Steel and all the DLC, everything, you know that Dr. Lee went to the Commonwealth, which is Massachusetts, so we all knew that that was probably going to be where the fourth game was going to take place, so they kind of hinted at that.
Everybody from Massachusetts will know this song, and I hope it's in the game somehow. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. That song better.
Let me see if I can. Well,
yeah, I'm not sure if it will be or not, but they have like.
You never know.
Who knows? I'm hoping the game will
with
be really...
Seth MacFarlane as Peter Griffin.
I'm not so yes,
anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and change the topic here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's about Devil's Third, which I believe this is this is the game by Valhalla Games, which is the person from let me see, Valhalla Games. I forgot the person who did Dead or Alive series made this game. I should have gotten the
Cue feminist rage in 3, 2, 1.
Well, the game actually feminist rage about this game.
Oh man. Sorry.
Valhalla game. I think this is Valhalla Games, I believe. Valhalla Games Studios that developed it, and this was developed. The person who owns this is Igaki. You might as well have known him. He developed games like Ninja Gaiden for Xbox, the Xbox version.
I played that.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah, and
Good game.
yeah, it's a good game. I understand that Devil's Third has been, it took like many years to develop, and it was they stopped production because THQ went out of business, and they were bought up by Nintendo. There's rumors going around about this game being canceled by Nintendo, but according to another source, they are going to plan to release it on Wii U, but without Nintendo's blessing.
Ooh, that could hurt.
Well, I personally don't really have an issue with that, but the sad part is, why didn't they promote it at E3? That is the weird thing. Because they said
that's true.
Are you talking about the Nintendo press conference?
Yeah.
Or this, yeah. I mean, seriously, I mean, the whole thing was so child-friendly, you could almost puke. I mean, they had Fatal Frame coming out, the new Fatal Frame coming out for the Nintendo Wii U. They didn't mention that. So,
I know, it's kind of sad that they never mentioned this game coming out as well, because they mentioned it last year, but they didn't mention it in the E3 press conference that they did live.
Instead, I mean, the whole live stream thing with Nintendo was like a fucked up version of the Muppet Show. So it was like,
I know, they turned that into a Muppet Show. It's like, I made like a meme for that. It was called "Haters Gonna Hate Walking Down the hall." It was just like, I made that meme, and it was just so funny because people were upset about it. Like, they were upset about the fact that they announced it. Super Metroid. What was that one game called? Blast Ball, and it was called. And originally, it was called Blast Ball they basically called it Blast Ball when they introduced it into the Nintendo World Championships, and then you find out it's a Metroid game, and I'm like,
it was essentially the biggest slap in the face to anybody who loves Metroid. But they didn't only do that with. They didn't only.
I'm a Metroid
yeah, and the goal of the game.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And the goal of that game was basically you shoot the ball into the goal.
There was no need to call this game Metroid, and they only did it to increase exposure to it, and never have that been more obvious than in this game. But they also made another mistake. One game that is also really interesting that they mentioned during that conference was Animal Crossing for the 3DS. That game looked great, but then they said, but we have something Animal Cross related to the Wii U as well, and it's a fucking party game. I mean, the biggest slap in the face ever. Yeah, they didn't announce a proper one for the Wii U. They announced this party game bullshit. It was the biggest bitch slap to the face to anybody who enjoys that series. So it's like,
dude,
yeah.
Mario Party failed so hard. Where are they doing fucking more of that shit?
I have no idea.
That's Nintendo for you.
And anyways, there was so much bullshit.
Nintendo's flopping, for God's sakes.
I mean, you actually, I mean, I have to admit, I was considering getting a Wii U, and thank God I still have not spent any money on a Wii U. And I was like...
Yeah, I have a Wii U. I am basically fucked.
Yeah, you can trade it in.
Nah, I'm not trading in mine. I'm waiting for the whatchamacallit.
I am actually getting one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Xenoblade Chronicles X.
And here's the crazy part.
Yeah,
and here's the crazy part about the interview. The most stupid excuse that I've ever heard from Nintendo. So why didn't you show Zelda again? Oh, we wouldn't want to take the attention away from other games. Really?
Really?
You don't want to...
Okay,
you didn't want to show off. You didn't want to show off other games, titles. But you didn't mind your own third-party titles. But you basically wanted to show off those games.
Yeah, here's my ultimate reaction after watching the entire Nintendo conference was essentially this: give me a reason to want to buy your console. I am not finding one. And it's like
they never even bothered to announce. They didn't bother to show off the. I think they
nothing.
Did. The only thing they showed off was Star Fox. That was it.
Yeah, that is the only thing that made me a little interested. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not gonna buy a console for 2 games, and I don't know.
I kind of regret buying my Wii U because I just got it for Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I'm fucking regretting it.
Yeah, I mean, I own a 3DS, and that was a lot of fun. I traded it in because I needed money, but it was essentially, the 3DS is still a good device. They have a ton of stuff coming after that, so it's like they're focusing. Oh, yeah. I mean, it seems like they're focusing more on the mobile, on their mobile platform, and then we have the whole NX thing, which nobody really knows what the hell is about. I mean, the latest reports right now is that the NX will be less powerful than the Xbox One and the PS4. So they're basically creating a new console and not bothering to have it up to stack with the rest of the consoles that already exist.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be a new. It's basically going to be the Wii U in another box. So that makes me question why.
There is also another report that I remember about that system, that it will possibly be like a 3DS, but you can play it on your TV.
That's stupid if that is true. I mean, if it's a powerful 3DS, it'd be one thing if it was like a 3DS and a different 3DS or a new handheld. That'd be one thing, but it's a whole
Imagine
console.
the size of the cartridges. It's basically just a little small cartridge that you can just slap in and play.
I gotta mute for a second.
You can make a SD card 60 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they already did a one with the 128, I believe, or 164. I don't know. It was one.
Hearing this, I'm fucking regretting getting a Wii U. I'm fucking regretting.
I don't know what's going on with Nintendo, but they basically they could have easily sold more consoles if they announced the games that a lot of people would have played. Instead, because if they would have known what the market was and been more aware that there are people that would want these games, because if people,
that's true.
It's just sad that they basically just ignored everything. They basically, I don't care. We're gonna go ahead and preview. We're gonna go ahead and preview these games instead of Devil's Third or any other game, because you know what?
Even the new open world Zelda game, people were raving to hear about that, yet they didn't talk about that.
Yeah, it's like, just say. Well, that's the problem. They said they haven't really made the game yet. They haven't really.
Seriously?
It's still in development. It's still in development.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's the reason why they didn't announce it, because it's still in development. They should have just said, "Hey, we got a new preview for you. It's still in development, so here you go."
That's insulting.
Yeah, that's the reason why most people are upset about that. So, anyways.
My God.
As for Devil's Third, it will possibly come to the U.S. maybe, because we know that Tanobu Igaki will try to get that game on Wii U.
Hopefully.
Since he basically created this game, he wants this game to be out soon. I know he does, and he's trying. Let's hope that it comes out. Let's hope it becomes a really. It's not going to be a success. I know that. I predict it's not going to be, because based on the market. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and move to the next topic. It's basically Rich from UTech USA.
Okay. Yes. This is. I'll tell the story of what happened. What happened was we all know Hauppauge is. They're kind of like Elgato. They make a video capturing software. They make video capture cards for like the PlayStation, Xbox, Wii U. They make those USB or no HDMI and RGBD or whatever the hell it is capture
Systems.
ability.
Yeah,
Yes,
to capture games in
and
HD format.
Yes, and what Hopog, they're famous for this, and they've worked on and off with Rich for so long. But Rich made a video saying that he got something from Hopog. He got sponsored by them, and he did the responsible thing by saying, "I'm being sponsored by Hopog." You know, like what we've all been saying, ethics and journalism.
Yeah.
We've always been saying for a long time now. Rich actually did it, and all he says is that he's being sponsored. He went out and made a video saying, "I'm sponsored by these people, and this is what it's about." And that's what he did. He actually did a sponsor video. So he's doing the responsible thing by saying he's sponsored by these guys. And you know what? Hopog and a bunch of trolls who hate him. Some douchebag named Review Hell USA has been harassing Rich for 6 months, attacking his fiance and her kids, and this douchebag won't stop. He kept going after him. You all know the Too Many Games thing where he was kicked out of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? Review Hell USA recently kicked out of it. I don't think he was one that sent him the death threat, but he was one that told Too Many Games about the death threat, and they kicked him out for it. Rich for being threatened, basically. But then I think it's Review Hell USA went after him, and a bunch of Virgin for Lives trolls, which then they try attacking me for calling them out on it. I don't listen to these guys because I don't feed them. I just call them douchebags and then move on. But yeah, but moving on now to the whole thing, Hopog, they put a sponsor on suspension, and they made it public by saying a number of you have sent us tweets and email messages regarding one of the YouTubers we have recently started to work with, Rich from Review Tech USA, that is. You have asked us to rescind our sponsorship, so until we can investigate the issue related against Review Tech USA, we are putting our sponsorship with him on hold. They basically said it like that, and Rich went into the comments and says, "Thanks for making this public. You'll be hearing from my lawyer pretty soon."
Ouch.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that kind of screwed him over.
Yes. Who? Rich?
No.
It better. I'm gonna personally say
Rich
this.
himself made that mistake himself, and I'm not saying it's his fault. But Rich needs to tell everyone, look, you need to stop doing this. This is the kind of behavior that's causing a lot of people.
He said this. He's been saying this for a long time, JT.
I know, and the fact is, they're gonna. No. Here's the problem. Here's the problem that they need to understand. If you keep doing this, eventually the government is going to start legislation to stop this.
Yep.
And I'm not joking. This is going to happen.
That's what he says too.
And if you keep you're gonna convince people that your freedom of speech and all this other stuff that you're pulling is going to ruin your life. It's going to make you. It's going to make people feel that they need to put laws against you, so you would do this stuff. Because if you think that drunk with power lunacy that you're pulling here to abuse your power on the internet allows you the freedom to do whatever the hell you want, because you think just because, oh, I have power, I can do whatever the hell I fucking want because I can easily just by a click away destroy the internet. It's never gonna work. You're just making people afraid, and it gives an excuse for them to make a law that says, oh, you threatened people. Already, they're trying to send a kid away in jail for making a joke.
Of what? In
Texas. You heard about that kid?
Which one? The one? I'm trying to think of which one it was.
All right. There's a kid in Texas that got, it was an 18-year-old kid. Who basically got arrested for making a joke, and some Canadian lady. Okay, it looks like I got an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of cutting out for a bit there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do this because you're.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do this.
Okay, who's reverberating? Who is it?
Let me mute. Let me mute.
Let me mute. Let me mute.
Okay.
Why
All
won't
right.
let me
Yeah,
mute?
but this right here is dangerous. This whole situation is dangerous. What's been going on, though? I mean, these people, they need to learn that. I mean, they're virgin for lives. That's what I call them because that's basically what they are. They have no life.
The
They have
problem
no
is,
life
dude,
outside of
they
their brain.
they're basically trying to start shit with review tech because they didn't like what he had to say.
They're a bunch of little whiny little.
You can't.
And I called them out for being virgin for lives, and they attacked me for it. And I'm like, are you really that pathetic? Are you guys really that pathetic going after one YouTuber or two YouTubers now? It's
because
like
that's the
these guys-
problem. You're not. You think by trying to start bullshit with the review tech is going to help, end his career. It's not. You're basically proving the point that the internet needs to be restrained by its fucking by choking it. You're choking the life out of it by pulling this shit on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not a joke, man. People are starting to get upset. Someday people are gonna get fed up, and they're gonna demand that the government should do something about this.
Yes, and if someone gets killed from God forbid, if someone gets killed because you guys are trolling so hard and the trolls lead someone to die, it's going to be all on you guys. It's not going to be on me. It's not going to be on JT, Carl.
It's not going to be my fault either because you think that this is going to be funny on the internet. It isn't going to be funny anymore. It's just gonna be fucking. Oh yeah, by the way, ha ha ha. I did something crazy. Ha ha ha.
They're just virgin for live losers. And
No.
I will keep calling them that.
No, it's just people that like to start shit on the internet, man. It's nothing big. It's just
pretty much
people.
is.
Yeah. Review tech, I don't really have an issue with him. People may have issues with his opinions about games. It's just opinions. They don't make opinions are like assholes. If you don't like their opinions, you might as well unsubscribe or don't listen to them at all.
No, but they just want to continue it up because they just like shitposting. It's like how we deal with how the channers and Gamergate are. They just like running their mouths, and they like how, for instance, with you, Carl, you got in a little fight with Shoe on Head, and she just like shitpost. They like doing
honestly,
this.
When it comes,
it's
yeah,
their
but
joy.
The reason this happened, and I'm gonna defend her a little bit because she was not aware of the entire situation, and when I explained it to her, she was cool with it. So I'm done with that. I don't want to. I don't want to.
I'm just saying, it's just stuff like this that people love to get this type of. They think it's fun until, in reality, it's just dumbassery and it's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing here is the the people here. A lot of the people who are going on with the what I like to call the dramatic faggotry, which is essentially people. I mean, that's part of the reason why I left the other Skype group. There's just too many douchebags in there, and I was like, it was nothing but shit posting. I don't mind a little shit posting and joking around about stuff, but that's okay. But when that's all there is, it becomes a little too much. And it was like, can we please get back to what we're? Somebody's trying to have a conversation in there, and there's nothing but shit posting. It gets a little too much for me. So I basically spoke my mind, and I didn't know that these people were channers when I started engaging with them. But my question is, why the fuck were they invited in to begin with? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is the reason why I don't get along with channers. It's just
There's some I can get along
trolls in
with.
general.
There's some I can get along with. Some I just leave. I just let them do what they want to do. But if they get caught for it, that's not my fault. That's their fault.
Mm-hmm. They're the dumbasses that keep making these blind threats and stuff. So
because this is the problem. This is the problem that should have been exalted. Because if you keep doing what you're doing by bothering Review Tech or any other person, for example, they're eventually it doesn't matter how much power you have on the internet, it doesn't matter how much you want to play this game, eventually you'll get caught. And if you screw up,
it's not a game, it's real life.
It's not a game.
In real life,
there's going to be consequences, and if you keep doing what you're doing every time, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and what I have to say, one last thing I have to say about this is I know a lot of people that despise Review Tech USA. One of them that I actually know really well, and they do this because they like to hate the guy because of his past videos. Yes, he's made a lot of dumbass mistakes. He's falsely he one time stupidly reported and said PlayStation 4 is going to have DRM. He's made those dumbass mistakes.
It's actually
before,
true.
That's not the. Yeah, it was kind of true to the most point, but it was false. It was some idiot that gave him wrong information for the most part.
It's kind of true because because the way it works right now is that if you have to have a subscription, and if you got some of the free games for it, the free games basically once you use up all your months on that thing, they automatically like close the thing. It's basically DRM in a way.
Yeah.
So pretty much if you use up all your months on PlayStation Plus, your the games that you have, they lock them. So it's kind of true that Rich said it does have DRM in a way.
Yeah, but for the most part, that the source he's never going to trust again. I kind of agree with him. That source is being a bit of a dumbass. But that's just the point. Just these, just all the lies I've been hearing on the internet lately. It's just like people just like to whine about stupid shit because they don't like the person, and it's getting extreme.
Yeah, it's just like everyone got upset with particular people. Like I was laughing at the fact that people were trying to address an issue with a certain person named Tariq Musa. Well, I read some of the Twitter things, and they were trying. Some of them were trying to explain to him on Twitter about the PC Master Race thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it turns out that whole argument with him talking about that, he didn't really respond to people talking about the PC Master Race thing. What happened was I read some of the tweets. Some of them were kind of negative. Some of them were not bad. Some of them were trying to point out about what is PC Master Race, because it seems like Tariq Musa didn't understand what PC Master Race is.
Say PC, it's it's crazy. I mean, they are so focused on those two words, Master Race, because that to them it means white supremacy, and it's like, no. It's really hilarious when you Google Master Race now. You will find two things. PC Gamer will show up first. So it's like it's become a joke. I mean, the whole joke of PC Gaming Master Race, I believe it started with zero punctuation from the Escapist saying something about a game that played better on the PC, and now the glorious PC Gaming Master Race can tell the console peasants to fuck off. That's how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
And it was a joke.
And then somebody basically said, you know what? we're going to be the PC gaming master race. And what that means is essentially that people who play on PC feel that they have better experiences while playing on a PC. They feel like PC is the superior system to console. That is the joke. That is what the meaning of it means, and it became because it's a fanboy thing, really. It's more of console gamers shitting on PC gamers and PC gamers shitting on console gamers. I'm
actually both console and PC myself. I have no bias either way.
No. I mean, it essentially, but it's not a mean-spirited joke. It's not meant to be mean-spirited. It's just
it's a comedic thing about PC gamers just being called we've been called a lot of shit.
Like a PC elitist enthusiast. That's basically what it is. It's just a joke. But the thing was, Tariq Musa reacted to it negatively because people were trying to... I understand that some of them were trying to explain to Tariq Musa that PC Master Race is just a joke. It's not meant to be offensive or anything about racism. It's just a joke. But he took it the wrong way, and he went off Twitter. He possibly misunderstood what people were talking to him, but he didn't even reply to some of the people. And of course, he basically just said, "Oh, I got harassed off of Twitter because I was sticking up for my belief that." I was like, "Dude, you're an idiot. Tariq Musa, you're a freaking idiot. You don't know what PC Master Race is. Heck, I know what it is. Just look it up. Research it. You're supposed to be this smart-ass motherfucker that knows his stuff. Plus, I read some of your little interesting thought blogs that you read. You're a very intelligent person, but when it comes to looking up, researching stuff, you lack common sense to know what's going on."
Pretty much.
And that was the biggest problem with him. He did not know, and he basically isn't aware of what is going on. It seems like he doesn't get the gist of anything. He just basically acts like he knows his stuff, saying, "Oh, the PC Master Race has a race issue. Possibly you can see right here that these people are all white." I'm like, dude, have you ever met Zaphanex or Blackbuster talking about PC stuff? You Leon, have you ever watched a Zaphanex video? He talks about PC.
Yeah.
Or Blackbuster critic. He talks about PC.
Yeah, he jokes about PC.
Yeah, he jokes about PC. But
Blackbuster critic, he does a PC game master race, and he's black.
And he's black. And yet here we go with Tariq Musa, who has no fucking clue what it is. It's just an inside joke between us, between people in the internet community about PC Master Race. And yet he talks that this is a race issue. No, it isn't.
No, it's a joke like Review Tech USA, going back to him. He did a joke saying, "Oh, Rich, you're just a part of the glorious PC
Master Race."
And he did that as a joke. Yes, and it's just a joke among us gamers. It's like,
and the funny thing about it is that Tariq Musa has no fucking clue. I thought he writes game reviews. He's a writer. He works for Polygon. I don't know how he got his job at Polygon.
No, because you know what? To be fair, at Polygon, they're a bunch of dumbasses anyway. So
yeah, it's like, especially that guy that talked about Filipino politics and didn't want to cover that one game that everyone was so upset with him about. You remember?
Yeah.
I think it was Rock Band, or was it? I think it was the new Rock Band that he didn't want to cover because I don't care because I was drinking my fizzy water and I just didn't care because I'm a snob. Yeah, it was true. There was a guy on Polygon that just was basically babbling about I didn't want to cover this game because I was so depressed and I was drinking fizzy water, listening to my friend talk about Filipino
This guy,
politics.
I told them on Twitter, stop screwing around and do your job, and he goes on Twitter and just blocks me, and I'm like, you know what? You wouldn't last long in this state. You wouldn't last long with a job in this state. In Montana.
It's like this guy basically fucked up badly.
Royally.
Yeah. As for Rich Review Tech, Rich, keep doing what you're doing. Forget the haters.
I'm looking at Hop Hop Games' Facebook page. He's getting a lot of supporters in there. They're asking him, "What the hell?"
Yeah, we should go in there. Leon, go ahead and link that thing. We're gonna go ahead and
I already linked it for you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably link this. Right yeah, for everyone, we're gonna go in there and help Rich because he's a part of this community as much. He has every right to be existing in this community. His opinions you may agree or disagree with him, but he does deserve some respect for what he says.
That's true.
And he may be my competition, but I do respect the guy.
I don't hate him because
I don't hate him either. But yet people have an issue with him. It's time that we take a stand for him, and for his sake, we should defend him. Because he's a gamer too, and we should take a stand. No.
Yeah, I agree. No. Like
because
how Daniel Bryan always said, no, you
faggots. We're not going to let you win. We're not going to let the terrorists win. Because you want to know why? Because we're America. We're a fucking great country. Blah, blah, blah. Suck my dick, you little bitches. ISIS can suck it. I don't care.
No, but I'm just saying... and everybody out there that wants to join the side, the antis, or they're afraid of being called racist or sexist.
Don't talk about that. We'll deal with that later. But as for Review Tech, we want him to win.
Yeah.
We want Review Tech to win. That is what is important. Because even if you agree or disagree with him at all times, he deserves some respect for what he says. Some respect.
Some respect, not all.
Yeah, if you don't like him, then don't subscribe to him or watch his videos. That's all I got to say about this, guys.
But they continue it up, and they're trolls. These people just they continue to whine about it, and they say unsubscribe. Rich actually did one time about the big cheese thing. He says, "Oh, then why is he did a joke about like why is Grande Mozzarella? Why did you
why does Grande Mozzarella cheese guy is getting
or get his 200 quesadillas back uncorrect like that? They say stupid shit like that are uncircumcised. I shit you not, they act like that. It's hilarious.
I know, really and the thing is, I don't know why people are getting upset with this. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I am out of here. Thank you, Leon. You can actually follow these guys on Twitter. You can go ahead and say your Twitter handles and everything.
Leon_Gunstill.
And he also has a YouTube channel.
Which is just Leon Gunstill.
Mine is Viking 2086. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, you'll find me there. My Twitter name is also that Norwegian guy.
All right, Shimmer Crash.
Let me tell you, it was nice being here. I don't have a Twitter account yet, but I'll make one probably for next week's show. But for now, I'm out.
All right, we're out of here, guys. Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye. We're out.
Okay,